Hello everyone and welcome back to my The Young and Restless 24 YouTube channel. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. Before we start, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Summer Newman to defend herself. Nate Hastings catches Audra Charles with Holden Novak. Victor Newman announces his coming target. Daniel Romalotti, Jr., to call out his family. Daniel has been suitable to tell that Phyllis Summers has passions for Billy Abbott. Next, Daniel will do the same thing with Summer. Daniel accuses Summer of being jealous of Kyle Abbott's love with Claire Grace Newman. Still, Summer will deny it. Summer tells Daniel that he's way off base. Over with Audra, anticipate her to continue keeping a big secret from Nate. Suckers watched as Holden and Audra pretended not to know each other. Latterly, Audra brazened Holden at the coffee shop. Audra advised Holden that she's erected a nice life in Genoa City and doesn't want her once resurfacing, especially about the nature of their relationship. Also, Audra had to annul and thank Holden for helping her back in the day. While Damian Kane seems to have a temper, perhaps it's Holden that everyone should be concerned about. Holden seems to be Damian's stylish friend. Plus, Damian doesn't trust anything besides Holden, that includes his own family. What was the real reason behind Damian and Amy Lewis' rift? Could Holden have commodity to do with it? In any case, Nate busts Audra and Holden having a discussion. When Audra warns Holden that she doesn't want Nate to find out about their history, guess who suddenly interrupts? Of course, Audra and Holden might have a persuading and credible cover story. What exactly is going on then, and does Holden have anything to do with Audra's secret confinement and Noah Newman's failed relationship? Victor talking to Michael Baldwin. Victor says that with Jordan and Ian Ward dead, it's time to apply the coming stage of the plan. With that, Michael asks which plan Victor is pertaining to. That's when the Newman primogenitor says to go after Jack Abbott via Jabot. Sharon Newman is trying to start her coming chapter. Still, Sharon truly wants to earn remission from Phyllis Summers and Summer Newman. There might be only one thing that can do this, however. Keep reading and let's talk about the possibilities. Although Sharon has been cleared in Heather Stevens' death, she committed other crimes. As Summer lately mentioned, Sharon framed Daniel Romalotti, Jr. Sharon also ditched Heather's body in the swash and gutted up the bloody mess. While Sharon's meds were tainted with PCP, it's a lot for anyone to forgive. Although Summer knows that the PCP affected Sharon's opinions, she still can't forgive her. Sharon lately asked Summer what she could say or do. Summer told Sharon that there isn't anything and principally just wanted her to steer clear. Of course, Summer was the bone that went into Sharon's coffee shop to begin with. Phyllis has prefigured that she'll no way forgive Sharon. Still, frequently times when characters say no way, they're latterly forced to eat their words. Still, also so can Sharon, if Phyllis can earn redemption for faking her own death and all the crimes she's married. Sharon and Phyllis will be thrown into a life or death situation where they're both going to have to rethink their relationship. At the time, it was assumed that Sharon and Phyllis could be hostages together. Some suckers also allowed that Phyllis would deliver Sharon. Sharon's life was easily in peril, but the part about Phyllis has not played out yet. So, that indicates there's still a twist coming up, perhaps with Ian Ward's fake death. It might take further than Sharon saving Phyllis to earn redemption. Sharon might need to save someone Phyllis can't live without, similar as Summer, Daniel, or indeed Lucy Romalotti. Maybe Sharon might also have a hand in saving Harrison Abbott if he ever faces another hijacking. In any case, there are still some twists and turns coming up. What do you suppose would force Phyllis to forgive Sharon? Would Sharon need to save one of Phyllis's loved bones? Maybe a child? Intriguing moments in the land of Genoa City. Sharon Newman dancing with Nick Newman in the middle of Crimson Lights. While there's a chance these two could be slow dancing in the coffee house for real, there's also a chance this is just a dream on Sharon's part, as suckers know she has further than friendly passions for her ex-husband. It looks like Friday's show will teeter on fantasy and reality, and Sharon wouldn't be the only one daydreaming. Across City, there are some veritably intriguing exercise prints for Friday's show where Adam Newman is concerned. In one, he's holding Chelsea Lawson at their new home. Connor Newman is end around, and this grasp looks far further than ACO parenting clinch. There's also another exercise print of Sally Spectra at Adam's Newman Ranch home, nearly looking combative. As Sally is in Paris with Billy Abbott, it's safe to say that this scene is a fantasy on Adam's part. Speaking of Billy, he'll be dancing with Phyllis Summers, what's also probably a fantasy. Red easily wants to reunite with her partner, but as she's in GC and he's in Paris, it'll only be a dream for her on Valentine's Day. There will be some new loves to celebrate during Friday's show, so could this suggest that suckers will see further of Damian King and Lily Winters interact? Perhaps there are more amorous scenes in Paris between silly? Some massive stunners as February sweeps roll on in Genoa. Two characters have a warning for a loved one, while someone sets boundaries, and a newbie reconnects with an old friend. A little warning of feathers from Lily Winters and Devon Hamilton Winters to Nate Hastings. Of course, his two relatives will advise him about Damian King, but will he choose to follow their advice or ignore them? After all, Nate presumably does want to get to know his half-family, but at what price? Across city, the person who loves to cross boundaries will set some. It looks like Phyllis Summers will decide it's time for some rules for herself as it relates to working with her partner, Billy Abbott. Still, what kind of boundaries will she establish, and will she stick to them? Phyllis had a converse with Daniel Romalotti where her son called her out on her passions for Billy and potentially wanting to reunite. Is this the reason behind Phyllis's need to set boundaries? Incipiently, Holden Novak has some kind of connection to a lady in Genoa City, and it looks like he'll connect with her during Thursday's show. But who could this be? Lily will be a part, so could these two be old musketeers or conceivably have crossed paths at some point in the history? Also again, indeed though they've formerly met, could Audra Charles be Holden's old friend? Could both have faked not knowing each other in front of Nate because of their dark history together? Suckers will have to tune in to find out. Claire Newman is eventually putting her nightmare history behind her. The woman, who her great, departed Aunt Jordan Howard named, demanded endless check and got it during a fierce battle that involved the Newman family. Devoted observers recall that Jordan failed at her hand. She downed tea that Claire poisoned. While Erin's character stopped Jordan from originally belting the hemlock lesson, she and her family did nothing latterly. Victor Newman's appearance at the Method House and the direction of Jordan's last act assured her demise. The mustache followed by taking a pellet for Nicky Newman, again proving that he'd die for his favored bones. Count the number of daytime hands in the air who believe Jordan is drooling up Catherine Chancellor, John Abbott, and other Genoa City, Wisconsin, legends nearly inside the pearly gates. No rational mind or indeed the most generous soul would choose to believe that an unashamed wrongdoer and miscreant like Jordan would be in a better place. When Zank's character slipped into unconsciousness, a ground-bottom destination ticket was punched. And it's understood that Moment's trip involves using nearly all digital jests. The ticket reference was a wink to all longtime suckers who recall Zank's glory days as Barbara Ryan on As the World Turns. Newer observers might not have known about her tremendous career work. But they now know how great this actor is and, hopefully, see her awarded with an unborn daytime Emmy for her stints on Y&R. Claire Noway had love while living under Jordan's command, who stole her at birth from Victoria Newman and Cole Howard. Jordan brainwashed Claire into believing that her parents abandoned her and that the Newman family was replete with inhuman lubbers. But an advance came at the cabin Jordan and Claire allured everyone to during Zank's debut on the show a time and a half agone. Claire was stunned to learn that she'd been stolen, not abandoned, which changed everything. Claire's consummation of who Jordan is wouldn't be similar to what she realizes about Victor. However, Victor will wangle Claire's split from Kyle Abbott. If he gets his way. The subject title gets to the heart of this adulatory matter. Victor has deeply settled passions about Billy Abbott's unwanted part in Victoria's life and doesn't want to allow Claire to make the same Abbott family mistake. How Victor attempts to manipulate the end of Claire's burgeoning relationship with Kyle remains to be seen. But it's not fantastic to believe that the head of the Newman clan will negotiate his task. Still, Claire is well apprehensive of her forefathers' Abbott-related outlook and will probably be aware of Victor's part in untried bollocksing of her love match with Kyle. How she responds, and also reacts, will come part of this developing story.